Okay, so it looks like the relationship between Jay Z and Rihanna isn't as perfect as we thought. Because from the things that she just revealed, Jay Z allegedly tried to take her life on the first day that they just met. Girl, say what now? She also claimed that he forced her to sign to Def Jam Records, locking her in a room for more than 24 hours and refusing to let her leave. There has been talk about how Jay Z is going to be next to be exposed after Diddy, and it looks like Rihanna is getting the ball rolling because the things she is revealing are just wild. Everybody knows that Rihanna and Jay Z have always been close, but we never thought much of it because he's like her mentor in the industry. When Rihanna was only 16 years old, she came to the US from Barbados to audition for Jay Z and L.A. Reid. She ended up impressing them so much that L.A. Reid instructed Jay Z to sign her immediately before other record labels got a hold of her because he knew that she would be like hotcakes. Jay Z then took her to his office where he made her wait until 3 a.m. to sign a 6-album contract with Def Jam. We have known this part of the story for years and we low-key thought it was cute. You know, Jay Z saw so much potential in Rihanna that he just had to sign her, and he spent hours begging her to sign with his label. However, the real story is nothing like that because according to Rihanna, there was no begging involved. Instead, Jay Z allegedly threatened to unalive her if she didn't sign, threatening to throw her down from the window of the 27th floor office that they were in.
So nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh, yes. He said, we don't sign songs here. We sign artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, you did your homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay Z, you've met Beyonce.
That's right.
Rihanna tried to laugh it off, but it was clear as day that her laugh was forced. I mean, she was only 16 at the time in a country that she had never been to and where she didn't know anybody. Her family was more than 2,700 miles away in Barbados, and she was at Jay Z's mercy. There have been whispers of Jay Z allegedly unaliving people and getting away with it, much like his bestie Diddy. So Rihanna was terrified at the moment, and she agreed to sign the contract for 6 albums, which pretty much guaranteed that she was going to be tied to Def Jam for a long time. And as if that was not shady enough, she wasn't given the contract until 3 a.m. because the contract was reportedly being drawn up. However, this doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. There's the fact that most big labels like Def Jam have a default template for contracts saved, so it typically doesn't take hours upon hours to draw up. Plus, they usually have their lawyers on tap at any time, so it's not like they had to go looking for a new lawyer. Then there are allegations that Jay Z deliberately delayed the contract because he wanted to tire Rihanna out. It's a known fact that people are more easily influenced when they're tired, and it looks like Jay Z was allegedly counting on this. To make it shadier, the fact that he insisted that she sign the contract right there and then means that she didn't have her own lawyer read through her contract. And every smart person knows that you should always have your lawyer read over any and every contract because you want to protect yourself. Also, we need to remember that she was only 16 at the time, while Jay Z was 36. So a 36-year-old man kept a 16-year-old girl for hours, threatened to throw her out of a window, and then had her sign a contract without a lawyer or a parent or guardian present. I mean, it all worked out for Rihanna at the end of the day, but that was just beyond shady. But it goes beyond that because the situation didn't really get better with time. As Rihanna grew in the industry, Jay Z allegedly forced her to become somebody that she wasn't. Y'all remember that good girl going bad vibe that she had going on at the time? Well, Jay Z forced it on her and allegedly threatened to drop her. In fact, she wasn't the only young girl on Def Jam who Jay Z was trying to force into the whole good girl going bad stuff, because Tierra Marie, who was also at Def Jam, was also being forced to do the same thing, even though she was in high school at the time. Tierra couldn't do that, and she was dropped from the label. However, Jay Z couldn't admit that he dropped her because she didn't want to be a bad girl, because that would have made him look like a weirdo. Instead, he claimed that the reason he dropped her was that her debut album, Rockefeller Records Presents Tierra Marie, was a flop. The album sold sold 69,000 copies in the first week and charted at number 5 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop Albums chart. Now, these are decent numbers for a rookie because most artists don't even chart at the top 10 of the Billboard 200 for their first album. So a top 5 debut album was good, but the label claimed that they were after something more than just good, so they made the decision to drop her from the label because of her low album sales. But then a couple weeks after her album dropped, Rihanna's debut album also dropped, and the interesting thing is that it also sold 69,000 copies in the first week, the exact same units as Tierra. Even more interesting, Music of the Sun only got to number 10 on the Billboard 200, which means that it charted lower than Tierra's album. By the logic that the label used with Tierra, Rihanna should have been dropped as well, right? Well, Rihanna was willing to be the bad girl. I mean, she even named her third album Good Girl Gone Bad, which tells us more than enough. But then it's not like Rihanna wanted to do those things because she has now revealed that she deeply regrets the things she did back in the day, especially since she's a mom now.
I have my nipples out, I have my panties out. It's gonna sound hypocritical, but because I did so much in my life as a mom and like an evolved young lady, young, emphasis on young. There's just things that I just feel like I would never do, or I'm just like, oh my God, I really did that?
But there's more than that, because I know y'all have heard about all the rumors about Jay Z and Rihanna having a little something going on the side, because the rumors were everywhere. Eventually, her publicist came forward to admit that he made up the rumors because he wanted to push Rihanna's career and give her some publicity. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Panda Replay," he wrote. "It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. I didn't think it would be this big story, but now knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." A lot of people didn't buy this because, after all, a publicist's job is to clean up the image of their client, even if it involves lying. And the rumor was making Rihanna look very, very bad. At the time, Jay Z was already with Beyonce. And if there's one thing we know, it's that the Beehive does not joke with Beyonce. Y'all know how they've come after every woman who dares to come after Jay Z, and the last thing Rihanna needed was for the Beehive to turn against her. This whole drama with Jay Z kind of explains why Rihanna hasn't given us new music for 8 years, and it's starting to look like we are never getting new music from her. Fans commented, "That's why the entertainment industry likes young people. They are easy to control and manipulate. This is unacceptable and unprofessional." Jaguar said the record's execs were recruiting young girls to fly out on a private jet without going to immigration to bring back to Jay Z. "I do not blame her for not wanting to do music anymore. She did her time. Now she wants to enjoy her life. Just because you are seen as an adult at 16, that does not mean emotionally maturity is there. The brain doesn't fully develop until 25. I believe that's the real reason why she left music and built her own wealth outside of that industry, because she didn't want to deal with people like him and other execs ever again." So basically, he threatened to unalive you if you didn't sign. He's a psychopath, just like Jag said. He was worse than Diddy, but no one believes her. If he did this to her, what else has he done over the past 25 years to other people? But I want to know how y'all feel about this, so please comment and then check out this next video.